Hi, it's showtime.
Hello.
Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the round of 16 map pool showcase. I am with Lotus, and joining me is Yun, and Tomato is streaming. So hello.
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 Welcome back. And excited to see what this new map pool for the round 16 is going to look like.
Yeah, it's looking pretty spicy. 7.5 star Nomad 1 by the looks of it, if I'm
Yeah.
seeing this
10-minute
correct.
10-minute tiebreaker.
Yeah.
AR7
No.
hidden. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Obviously not going to be the case, but
No
yeah, hello.
K-pop as no K-pop as all good pools are. I'm kidding. Jokes.
Wait, have you seen the pool?
No.
Right. I'm going. Yeah. Okay, we're both going in blind. So this is more of a reaction to the pool as we go. Maybe Tomato will have some insights for us, but we'll just try our best. See how things go. So anyway, let's get the show on the road, shall we? With the No Mod One, which we
Ooh.
have
It's like
Atonement Twins.
classic. This is a all-time classic map, which I've seen many times. Very, I think, as the Nobot one slot is very consistent in its difficulty. Not not too huge like this spice, but of course the difficulty is pretty much the same throughout, which is exactly why it's Nobot one.
Yeah, map from a previous mapping tournament. As you can tell from the difficulty being team various countries, usually indicating the mapping tournament.
Yeah,
And they usually produce quite more unique and interesting maps. And the intro had some wide slider velocity and stuff like that. So it's not entirely basic, at least from the intro.
yeah, definitely not like your average anime or comfortable Nobot ones. Still slightly on the more comfortable side. Quite was it a very like comfortable CS of CS4 AR 9.5, and no, but like no sort of patterns that are like out of the ordinary here. Lots of hold dash patterns, and yeah, just not too spicy just yet since it's round 16.
Yeah, very flowy, looks very comfortable, very limited use of anti-flow. Um, and it looks quite comfortable to play, it's got a pretty comfortable BPM, I think, for a lot of players, and the AR being 9.5 is pretty comfortable. So it's not like one of those really awkward sort of maps that's, kind of slow, kind of low BPM, no mod 1, that's like, just feels a little bit awkward to play, which tends to lend itself to, you know, getting, well, shit misses basically, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully for was it like a long map? We've got one break at least, like at least a one or maybe a few breaks, which might be able to let players who might struggle a little bit with that consistency to like rest a little, catch the breath, especially if they're holding a full combo. But who knows? Maybe that might be the sort of area which might break momentum for certain kinds of players.
It'll also be quite interesting to see as the tournament progresses how difficult these pools are going to be, at least in comparison to last year, because the level this year is definitely a little bit higher, with it being general skill level going up, and also there's a lot more strong and capable players playing this year that weren't here last year. Like Matt, for example, is a very obvious example, but you've got the likes of Upbeat, John Glizzy, underscore Backer, Know My Darkness, pretty capable players that weren't playing last year, so the field should be a lot more competitive than last year, and it'll be interesting to see if the pools will show that that progression. But
Hmm.
yeah, a pretty comfortable looking Nomad 1 should be, you know, nothing too difficult for round of 16.
Yeah.
Just a
No spinner.
consistency test.
Yeah, no
No
spinner, by
spinner.
the
Yeah,
way.
no spinner.
Interesting. Hmm.
Anyway,
But yeah.
Nomad 2. Let's see what we've got here.
Ooh.
Redive
The
Neuron.
Rusty map.
Rusty's Overdose, so doesn't really need too much introduction what you're gonna get here. Rusty, very well known like sort of techie player, techie
Mm.
mapper, and Nomad 2. So let's see here. Interesting to note as well that Nomad 1 was exactly 5 stars, which compared to last year was also exactly 5 stars. So
Mm.
if we're going purely based on star rating, it's exactly the same difficulty.
Hmm.
Anyway, Nomad 2. Let's see what
Yeah.
Rusty's got in store for us here.
Yeah. Shout out Tomato with a few scores on this map as well.
Okay, already very technical, very snappy, a lot of really harsh, quick hyper snaps.
Yeah. Using a lot of like, using a couple of like sharp sliders as well with like the drop. So I think that accuracy could be a little bit of a factor for some
Ooh.
players here. Ooh, that is a
Ooh,
nice.
okay. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, some very interesting slide attack, and that stream was very creative.
Mhm.
Should be on the shorter side as well, just under 2 minutes long, and quite high actually star rating wise. 5.5 star is quite high for a round of 16 pool. So like I said, the level already looking like it's a little bit higher, at least compared to last year. So that's gonna be good for the higher seeds at least.
I think this is a trend I've been noticing for the past couple of like CDB tournaments where the Nova 2 tends to be a little bit more was it a decent amount higher than the Nova 1 sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it does show it. Lots of snap sliders and a little bit of anti-flow already like making an appearance. Sliders all around the place and stuff. So all of these players need to be practice this one quite a bit.
There we go. The map just ends just like that. But yeah, a really interesting and cool looking Nomad too. I think a lot of the higher seeded players are definitely going to enjoy that one, I would say. Uh, so yeah, moving on to the Nomad 3. What do I see? Shuko. I'm trying to like. Oh wow. Okay. Croix Spec CTB Overdose.
Ooh,
Right,
this is
boomers. The boomers. All right. Show your
oh
faces. We're going back to 2014 with this one.
my gosh, it's this one.
I
I remember playing this one like back as a V4 digit.
Yup, I also remember playing this way back in the day. So yeah, this map is from I want to say 2014. I mean, you can just tell from the difficulty name, CTB Overdose. It's like
Mhm.
you only see that diff name in like really old maps, and yeah. You can see it in the mapping style. It's really awkward, very linear and wide spacing. So
Sooner or
yeah, a
later
bit of
we're
a
gonna
blast
be
from the
dealing.
past. This one.
Yeah, sooner or later we'll be dealing with some ZH Steven maps, I bet. Something like that. Oh my gosh. Truly, truly, as you mentioned, blast from the past, something brings a bit of nostalgia, some tears to my eyes. But yeah, the wide spacings to measure like people's like ability to like to time the jumps. Oh, classic.
Yeah. The only other example that I can think of on a map like this is like when they put the Pretender as
Oh
Tiebreaker
yes.
in CDBC a few years ago.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
you don't see like really old maps being represented in pools that often anymore, and it's nice to see. Honestly, look at that! Look at those quad streams right there.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
ugh, disgusting. But yeah, a
The
lot
mega
of the newer
spacing.
players. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see like the newer players playing something like this because. Like, if you're a newer player, and I mean like newer players in like the last 4 or 5 years even, you're probably not really playing stuff like this at all. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how some of the newer players do on something like this, especially. So yeah, that's the Nomad 3. Definitely one of the. I feel like it's going to be one of the highlights of the map pool, honestly, just based on its sort of merit, if you will. But
Hmm.
anyway, moving on to the Nomad 4, which I believe should be the convert pick.
Can't
One
wait to
way
see what this one
only.
is.
Okay. And I think the metadata at the bottom is going to be like standard. So it's, yeah, so it's
Yeah.
not like a nearly 6-star CTB convert. It's probably like more like 4
It's
if I had to
yeah, it's
guess.
like I think it's like 4.78 from what I'm seeing on like the data. 4.78 AR 9.5 CS 4. CS 4.2. Yeah.
Okay. So far, a lot of linear panning. So kind of in that comfort area of AR, like 9.5 and
Hmm.
fairly higher BPM again, 240 BPM. So
Yeah. A little bit of minor like swing-ish here, but not that much. Like yeah, as you mentioned, a lot more comfort and
yeah,
stuff at the
a lot.
moment.
Yeah, a lot of linear panning and plate walks, and there's just like every now and then like this really weird sort of jump just sprinkled in there just to keep you on your toes, kind of thing. Just really weird sort of jumps that are that come with like converts. But yeah, like here you've got just a lot of linear movement, and then there's probably going to be like another set of just random jumps out of nowhere.
Was it? I looking at the fact that like the first bit was like that hyper jump sort of, that big hyper jump thing. I'm looking to see if there's gonna be one giant like div spike section that is upcoming. Maybe that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. That's the huge like jump section,
Ooh,
convert jump
okay.
section. You like?
That was a bit of a tricky jump there. It was like a set of hypers into a wide anti-flow jump. So definitely, yeah, the ending definitely the trickier part of the map here. The rest of the map didn't seem too bad, but this ending is definitely where a lot of the misses are going to come in, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Just a few like I think like just a few like unlucky chokes or just like mistimings could cost you this whole map. So do be sure to
Yeah,
practice this one, especially that ending.
yeah. You could, we could potentially see some like comebacks in the ending there if you can nail that ending and your opponent sort of starts chaining misses together. Could definitely see something like that happening. But anyway, I believe that's the yeah, that is the no mod pool. Now moving on to the hidden one. What have we got? Chromatic Rain by Ardolf. Nice to see some Ardolf in the pool. Very love his music.
Mm-hmm. Mapped by AFB, so definitely going to be something that is not as hidden friendly because AFB knows what he's doing when it comes to like the hidden maps.
We'll see. FB,
Yeah.
yeah, he can be very gimmicky if he wants to be, but he's also a very clean mapper. He can
Yeah.
map maps that are very like comfortable and very clean, and
Mm-hmm.
this definitely looks like one of them.
Yeah. I think like the difficulty comes comes with the reading of the like slight bit of stack sections. People who are not as good at hidden or as like fluent on hidden may be able to may accidentally like mistime some of those stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say the map is very flowy, but it's also a little bit lower on the BPM, 180. So a lot of these jumps are a lot wider, and you know, it can be a lot easier to misjudge sort of like the movement a little bit.
Yeah, the lower density of this map will
Yeah.
be quite tricky for a lot of these players, for like a lot of players who are less less like experienced when it comes to playing hidden maps. But for those who have played more hidden, this could be quite the comfort pick, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
Just a little bit of a nice slow build-up section into this last 1/3 of. I think this could be the last KI, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a good mix of just like standard, you know, quarter map, like quarter beat mapping, and you know, there's a nice mix of that with, you know, these sort of like buzz streams and a little bit of slider text sprinkled in there as well, just to mix it up a little bit. So yeah, there's definitely patterns that, you know, overall as a map it can be comfortable, even if you're not too experienced with hidden. But there's also certain patterns where if you're not comfortable in hidden, you're definitely gonna struggle and choke on them a little bit, like these little timings here.
Yeah, right there. Those are, or like even like just small little like tiny wiggle, which you don't really have to do, but some people might accidentally like misread that, go a little bit too far, choke on one of the notes. But yeah, very clean hidden one for many, but not all. But yes, now we'll go to everyone's favorite, hidden 2.
Everyone's favorite mod slot, hidden 2, the low AI hidden pick, and it is
Ooh.
Sakura Fubuki Light Rain, mapped by Sinnoh, and it's AR 8.3.
Oh, I'm excited. 524 combo. A short hidden 2. So thankfully for some people, if this isn't even banned, if this is a banned out, you know, then it's like a short bit of like that misery for some people.
Yeah, just a short bit of suffering, you know. You've only got to put up with it for 2 minutes, and already a little bit technical with a lot of you know, quick hyper snaps, which obviously can be very tricky to time and feel sort of the flow of it when the AR is low. Some anti-flow there as well.
Yeah, this feels like a sort of a similar kind of map to the previous one, just on low AR. So I think this is definitely gonna be one of the most banned maps out there, because it's not like a clean cut. It's not super clean cut of a hidden 2. So lots of different complexities when it comes to this map, compared to like, let's say, a jump, like a pure jump hidden 2.
Yeah, very technical, very stream heavy, very dense hidden 2 map. So yeah, hidden 2 it always is one of the like most banned maps, generally speaking. So you know, it probably wouldn't surprise me to see it again this weekend. But it's also usually one of the most fun to watch because of it.
Yeah, exciting. It's always an exciting thing to watch, like two people uncertain about who's better than hidden. But yes, this is hidden 2.
Yeah, and that will be the hidden pool, I believe. Yep. Moving on to the hard rock now. What have you got for us, Tomato? Sigma Tide.
Oh no.
Interesting. Rain by Gemzu. Okay. Consistency hard rock, just shy of 3 minutes. Not the smallest circle size. It CS 3.8 before Hard Rock, so it's still probably around CS 5, which is a little bit above average, but still pretty small. Obviously, with being Hard Rock and looking like a very stream-heavy Hard Rock 1 pick here. Yeah.
Yeah, quite flowy when it comes to the streams, but at least it's not fully linear, which is something which I like about these kinds of hard rocks, where you need to sort of use your brain, keep yourself on the move a little bit more, and some of those little tight snaps here and there.
Yeah.
Very, very,
Some
very
very
excited to see.
Yeah, some very typical sort of hard rock jank here, but nothing too egregious. Obviously, it's only around 16, but you're already seeing some elements of like that weird hard rock conversion. This isn't, entirely comfortable or flowy. Like it has a flow, obviously. Like it looks kind of comfortable to play, but it's just got those like little elements that kind of keep you on your toes.
Yeah. A little bit of a jump section, so spacings. Oh, this honestly, I think that. Okay, to be fair, I think this is might be one of the places people might miss on, but at the same time, I think we've got a lot of capable hard rock players in this tournament, so I think that most of them will be quite fine. I would miss on that note before the. Honestly,
Yeah.
that note right before the break would be something I miss on.
Yeah, a bit of a slower section here. A lot of linear movement can sometimes be pretty tricky with hard rock.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these of these big of these like very low density sections because just makes me so nervous.
Yeah, the lower density parts of hard rock can always be like can usually be like the most tricky.
Yeah.
Because it kind of forces you to like read up the screen a bit more than what you probably would normally do.
Yeah, that honestly, I think this is a map that really encompasses everything. It really has got like that stream sections, and it's got elements of that. It's got those like tricky elements and stuff littered across the map, and as well the low density section to really test that AR-10 reading.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the stronger hard rock players will really enjoy this map. I think you will probably see this map get picked a lot as well this weekend because there are, as you say, a lot of pretty strong hard rock players in the tournament. I don't know why, but hard rock always seems to be like a pretty favored mod for the UK as a whole. So yeah, we'll probably see this map picked quite a lot this weekend. But yeah, anyway, moving on to the Hard Rock 2, which we'll see is usually like a lower CS or a low density map, but we'll see what we've got here. Oh, okay, this map, a mini-am map. Interesting.
Oh my
So
gosh, this one. Oh, this throwback.
this, yeah, this map is. I'm used to seeing this as a hidden pick, like a low AI hidden pick, but seeing it in hard rock is interesting.
Yeah, I think this one used to be either on mixed mode or hidden in 4CWC if I remember correctly.
I know
Yeah,
it
so this
was
is
it
yeah.
was a hidden 2 in Free CBC a few years ago. That's where I'm familiar with it. I don't remember this furry background though.
I think this is I think there was one which is the hidden two in the 3WC, but I think there was a different one. I think that was a rusty map. This one is a different map set, I think. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, this might actually be different because the vocals are different from what I remember. Okay, maybe this is completely different then.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got CS 4.5 before Hard Rock applied, so already we've got much smaller circle size, and you can see the BPM is a lot lower, 130 BPM, which, playing low BPM with Hard Rock is usually just misery.
Yeah. Definitely gonna need that break in the middle.
Oh yeah, this map, I'm getting highlighted, but I think I know what it is. It's about this map getting an edit. Yeah, the edit. Okay, so there's apparently like a couple jumps that are really evil on this map. So what you see here is like the unedited version, but it will be edited to remove some of the more egregious patterns that this map has.
Mm-mm. Thankfully that happened because this map does seem so harsh when it comes to like that, forcing you to really rely on your AR-10 reading, and also like in addition to that, like the slight upscaling of that CES gonna be a problem for less experienced hard rock players.
Ooh. Even the replay nearly like completely overwalked that slider, so
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That like tap dash is like crazy. It's
yeah. So I feel like this is probably going to be one of the more banned maps in the pool as well. This map does look like it's on the harder side of the pool overall. It's not mechanically intense, obviously, but with it being such a small CS and low BPM, it's so uncomfortable to play that you really got to be like,
Mm.
on the ball and locked in to play something like this. And obviously, nerves are going to definitely play into a factor on a map like this. But anyway, that is the Hard Rock pool. Moving on to the DT1. Let's see what we got here.
Woohoo! This is a throwback, blast from the past once again.
There is a different set of the same song. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm. Huge fan of this map and song. Brings back
Ah,
so many memories of C2C, I think 2020 or 2022, one of them. It's like between those years, 2020 to 2022, one of those years.
I'm not familiar with this one. But there was a year that I actually missed for CDBC, so maybe it's the year that I didn't play.
Yeah. Mm. But yeah, very fond memories of this map. Struggling on this, of course, when I was back in the day. While my teammates would carry me, but yes, can see a lot. It's relatively longer, but a lot of tricky sort of like control patterns
Yeah.
for a platter.
Yeah, it's not about like raw speed. You've got a lot of these really awkward, like little mini jumps. As you say, it's definitely more control focused than a speed pick.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not too fast or dense. It's 214 BPM, which is not too high
yeah.
for a DT pick. It's just yeah, like you say about control, and it's a very interesting platter for sure.
Hmm. I think like to add, I don't think this is an Air 8 platter as well. I think this is just slightly under Air. Was it an Air 8? An Air 8 platter, which makes the reading just a tad bit more of a challenge for some people who are very used to that Air 8, comfortable Air 8 reading.
Yeah, it does say AR 9.3 at the bottom, which I'm assuming is after DT is applied. No, it can't be before DT. That'd be like 10.6. I'm gonna
Yeah.
assume it's after then 9.3. So yeah, a little bit lower on the approach rate for DT.
Yeah, I think it's 7.8 in its in original AR, which is in itself already like um another kind of like reading challenge.
Yeah,
If you
I
already add
agree.
on with yeah, if you, especially if you add on with all these like micro movements and like platter control elements, and like also to add on even more like the was it like the inconsistent jump spacings as well. This
Yeah,
is a map to really watch out for.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because AR8 DT is usually like the benchmark. Going below that, then you start of get into that realm of it being more of a reading and dense kind of pick. So very
Mm.
unique DC1 pick, I would say. It'd be interesting to see that map being played. But anyway, moving on to the double time two, which
Oh,
will be interesting to see if because usually DT2 is like the control sort of DT pick. So I'm interested to see what they've got here.
this is familiar.
But looking at this, we've got already a pretty high approach rate for a round of 16. It's a 9.9 DT pick, which is higher than I would have expected for a round of 16 pick, assuming that's correct.
And after DT 247 BPM, so we can expect this map to be on the sort of speed side and also control. A bit of a sprint rather than like that rather than the usual like marathon for DT1. This is that high burst sprint that a lot of people really look for in like DT2, with a few like elements of microcontrol, platter control here and there.
Yeah, it's definitely more focused on the movement aspect more than the control. Like it's got this like little micro movement, but it's not like snappy like in the DT1. It's more like a plate walkie kind of movement. So yeah. Also, a really good song. I really like the song.
Yeah, me too. I think I can't remember which tournament this was used for, but nevertheless, this was absolutely amazing song.
I think this was in no, I just remembered it was this year's qualifier, Hard Rock 2.
Oh yes, it was. That's why because I was also because I was there too. It was like
yeah. And this was like it was like my favorite song in the pool, but I couldn't play it, so I wasn't even the one playing it, unfortunately. But yeah, obviously not this difficulty, but
yeah,
pretty cool DT2. Yeah, a lot of speed, a lot of movement, and a bit of a higher approach rate, surprisingly. Anyway, tiebreaker. So we're not so 2 maps per mod pool. Okay. DC1 was 7.5 before DT. Okay. Well, we've got Stella as the tiebreaker. Rusty and Zonda's Overdose. Interesting. So I'm immediately going to assume that it's obviously going to have elements of slider technical stuff because Rusty's collab. Something
Likely, yeah, I was gonna say just shy of 5 minutes this song, so maybe a little bit of a relief for some people since we start like this is just like the first tiebreaker of a few, so starting off a little bit less of like that 5 minutes.
Yeah, interesting to know as well that it's actually slightly lower star rating than the Nomad 2, so it says a lot about how tough that Nomad 2 pick is in the pool overall. Obviously this is not that far behind, I think it's like 0.1 of a star rating. So far a fairly tame intro. A few pretty straightforward streams, but shouldn't really be too much of an issue for most players. Ooh, and okay, there's a little bit of more anti-flow, weird technical stuff.
A little cheeky little anti-flow in that little section.
Yeah, could definitely very easily catch someone off there, I would say.
I think that for the kind of map this is, with like just a few of those little cheeky anti-flows here and there, but at the same time, I think that spinners will be a very crucial thing to have for this map, especially for like more experienced players playing it like the middle matches, where two more equally skill-setted players are like playing against each other. I think that those matches in particular, spinners are crucial.
Yeah, like the seed 8, seed 9 kind of matchups. Yeah. There was a few sort of like jumps into like these little anti-flow doublets that I can see being quite easy to misjudge.
Yeah.
Quite repeated quite a lot in that previous section of streams.
Yeah. Oh.
Bit of a 1/3 section as well.
Yeah. Lots of like little bursts every now and then that disappear in like the key eyes. Yeah, if you're on like that, if you're on like nerves or something, and especially on the tiebreaker situation, these nerves will hit for
Oh
many of
yeah,
these
for
players.
sure.
Sliders, lots of cool sliders as well right now.
And it's a little bit lower on the BPM as well, 178, I think that is. So if you're used to farming your Illness Lilians and your Chrono Capsules, and you only play like 260 BPM, this is gonna feel really sluggish and just awkward to play. And when you're nervous, you're gonna and you're not sort of dialed in, you can very easily find yourself rushing some of these patterns.
Yeah, that adrenaline will like
Yeah.
kicking in from the tiebreaker situation. Definitely going to be a factor.
Yeah, for sure. It's very consistently mapped though, there's a lot of the same sort of patterning repeating that I notice. So, there's no like crazy diff spike or anything like that in here, it's just very consistent, which is kind of what you want from a tiebreaker really. More of those like jumps into these little quick anti-flow snaps that I mentioned before as well. Where you could quite easily misjudge them if you're not careful. And for anyone watching as well, in case they're curious, the seeding showcase will not happen until tomorrow at some point. It's not been scheduled yet, it's just going to be tomorrow at some point. Because not all the lobbies have finished yet. I think there's still another lobby or two to go. One more to go, okay. I think it's at, what, 11 o'clock? Or 10 o'clock? 10 or 11? Yeah, and obviously we don't want to do seeding showcase like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, because no one's gonna see it. So it's gonna be tomorrow. But yeah, that's the pool. That's the round of 16 pool. Pretty cool. A lot of standout maps as well, for sure. Like the No Mod Free for me, especially like personally, just because it's
Oh yes,
an old map.
yeah.
So yeah, very cool round of 16 pool. Gonna be interesting to see. As always, if maybe one of the lower seeded players can get an upset. But yeah. Anyway, that is the pool. Thank you for joining me, Yun, and Tomato
Yeah.
for streaming it, obviously. And for those that still have to do qualifiers, I don't think any of them are watching this showcase. At least I hope they're not, because it should be warming up. But if you are, then good luck in your qualifiers.
Yes. Pool is also on site, so you guys can go and practice if you've already done your qualifiers. So, yes. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, I think that's everything. So, I suppose have a good night and see you tomorrow. Well, I won't be there, but see you tomorrow for the seeding showcase. Goodbye, stream.
Goodbye.